You alright people, Alex Mathers here. Today we're going to be talking about dopamine. So over the last couple of days I've been feeling a bit flat, less motivated than usual, and I had a little sit down to think about why that might be. And today, this week, I had a 3-day fast, which led to me being really knackered and really slow, which gave me the excuse to watch a lot of stuff on TV and YouTube videos and binge on my favorite shows well into the night. And that habit bled into more recently where I continue to watch too much TV. And of course, that would be a good explanation for why feeling a little bit more flatter than usual. And this always happens when I watch TV late into the evenings and put myself in front of a screen close to the time that I go to sleep. I always wake up feeling sort of slower and groggier and flatter. So that's led me to wanting to talk to you guys about dopamine and how it all works and how we might want to think about how to manage it at the very least. I think we're living in a very high dopamine society and we can really be affected by this in terms of motivation. Obviously there are other components to it and it's a huge area, and there are many ways that we take in stimulants that increase our dopamine levels, whether it be TV watching or video games or porn, or even the food we eat can spike our dopamine and make us less receptive through burning through and knackering all the dopamine receptors in our brains. We become less receptive to lower levels of dopamine, which is what is provided to us in the form of being motivated to go to the shops or do work or do normal level stuff and enjoy our surroundings and enjoy the beauties of nature, and all that kind of stuff gets drowned out and grayed out because our dopamine levels go down. So it's kind of like a diabetic who has given himself so many insulin spikes over the years through high sugar intake that insulin becomes less effective and the body becomes less receptive to insulin, which means you need to inject more insulin to make it work. So that's the problem we have with a high dopamine society in the form of internet and social media and watching too many YouTube videos. It all spikes our dopamine nice and high, which means that we become less good at being able to take the benefit from lower levels of dopamine, which is what we need to feel motivated to get out into the world. So if you think back to our caveman days, we didn't have any of this high level dopamine stimulus stuff around. So we had low levels of dopamine, which spiked whenever we would get what we wanted in nature. So that whether it be sex or a hunted animal and the food that we got from that hunted animal, we'd remember the positive feeling that we'd get from those moments of joy, the dopamine hits that we get from those moments of joy. And we would be inspired to go back out into nature and run 50 miles to chase down that gazelle to get that subsequent dopamine high from eating that food. But in this modern age where we're piling on huge levels and huge amounts of dopamine, we become less good at dealing with it and being able to manage it. And this is why I think, because I've been watching too much TV, because I've been taking on too much dopamine in that bracket of my life, it's taken its toll. So I've been less inclined to want to do anything really, because I've been escaping through vicariously living someone else's life in some other film somewhere. And it's just a bit ridiculous really. So this has motivated me to talk about this with you guys. Obviously we can address dopamine issues in all kinds of areas. So food, so I'm going to talk a lot about fasting in other videos, but also porn addiction and sugar addiction and carbohydrates, and TV is the one for today. And this is what I want to talk to you about. So my plan is, having seen the ill effects of watching too much, especially late into the night, and just having too much screen time in front of me, I want to commit to a week at the very least of no YouTube watching and no videos and no films, no TV shows. And I want to bring you guys in on that. So if you want to join me for 7 days of no video viewing, it's going to be tough for many of us. It's going to be tough for me, especially having been piling on recently. And I want to see how this goes. I want to document my results with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether this lifts me out of my little funk here where I'm not as motivated as I normally am, and hopefully inspire you guys to think about getting rid of that addiction to film viewing. I mean, a lot of us are hooked to YouTube, hooked to the internet, hooked to social media, but let's start with one thing at a time. So no videos for a week. See what that does to you. See whether you start to regain some sensations your ability to sense, your ability to feel and touch and hear more effectively, and of course be motivated as a result of your ability to sense the world at a heightened level again and have a reason to get out and enjoy the world and enjoy reality, enjoy nature, rather than running to our video screens to enjoy living reality vicariously. So 1 week, no video watching, no dopamine highs from watching films of any kind, unless for some reason you need to watch a video as an emergency in some form, but I don't think, and I hope that is not going to be the case for you. So this includes porn as well. So no porn, no videos, no films for 1 week. Let's see what that does. I'm bringing you in on this. Let me know in the comments below whether you are game for joining me on this video fast. Let's call it the video fast. No dopamine from videoing for 1 week. And let's see how much time that creates for us. Let's see how much energy that leads to us. And those of us who are more hooked and more of a binge watcher, more of a TV show fan than others, is probably going to benefit in very profound ways from doing this for at least 7 days. Let's see what this does to us. And hopefully it might spring on some ideas in terms of how we can move into other areas of our lives to address dopamine and fasting from dopamine for a while and giving our bodies and our brains a rest from this high stimulus stuff. So send me a comment if you are involved, or if you just want to send me a comment, and do subscribe if you enjoyed this video, guys. Do like this. I always appreciate a like. Make sure that this video gets sent across to other people who might want to benefit from it as well. And yeah, just sending you luck, and I will see you in the next video.